but she was scammed out of $17,500. You have to see, this is where they're coming from. You have to, as the younger generation, we gotta teach our parents. That's something you gotta teach our parents how to look out for these scams, because the newer technologies is making the scams more elaborate. The newer technologies are making the scams more elaborate. But let's jump right into this video. The granny was scammed out of $17,500.
A doorbell camera capturing the moment this Mebane woman says she handed over her savings of $17,500 in cash to a complete stranger.
Every morning I wake up and I'm like, I just want this nightmare to go away.
This woman, who asked us not to name her or show her face for fear of being a target again, but says she wants to share her heartache with hopes of preventing the scam from happening to someone else. It started when she was on her computer trying to log on to her bank account.
I put in my password and username and got to the website, but it wouldn't let me open my accounts.
She grabbed her cell phone and says she went to the number saved in her cell phone for her bank.
She says, "Oh, your account's been frozen." And I said, "Why?" And she said, "Well, there was a suspicious charge from PayPal from the day before." And I said, "Well, I didn't make that."
She says she was transferred to what she thought was a PayPal fraud department, but the call quality was so bad that she ended the call and called a Florida number back. It's not clear how she got that Florida number.
Who is
On
she
the line
calling?
with them, she says she was told the charge was for $82 and they said they could refund her, but she had to follow their instructions, which included downloading several things on her computer.
I
Oh my
typed
God.
$82 and I immediately looked up to the screen and it says $18,000. And then it goes accept, 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 just like that. And I said to this man, I said, "That's wrong." I said, "That's not what I typed in." I said, "That's a mistake."
At first glance, she says it looked like an extra $18,000 was deposited into her account. In reality, which she didn't know at the time, the scammer just transferred the money from her savings to checking.
What you have to do to fix it is you have to get cash, go to your bank and get cash.
Hesitant to follow his instructions, but she says this letter with a Bank of America logo came out of her printer, stating there's a serious matter concerning your account, an unresolved tax issue related to a personal transaction from PayPal. As a result,
Hold on,
online
hold on, hold on. What you mean? What do you mean it just came out of her printer? So they already hacked in everything to where they just could print that out. Then they were ready to take her money. These scams be elaborate and you have to watch out. Absolutely correct. Let's keep
account
going.
transfers are temporarily blocked by the IRS. The letter goes on to state, we have not notified your local branch. It's crucial you refrain from discussing this transaction with them. Doing so may lead to freezing or seizing all funds in your account.
There is no way that the bank would tell you not to discuss this with your local branch. Come on now. Well, we this is an older woman, so she didn't know. But scammers, they don't care who they take their money from. A granny being her last leg, they'll take the leg. They don't do not care. Let's keep going. I'm not gonna stop it too much, but
You can
wow.
see the call with the person lasted over 4 hours.
He kept saying, "Don't hang up on me, don't hang up."
She did stay on the line for over 4 hours. She drove to her bank and withdrew $17,500. As she says, a man told her she could keep $500 for her troubles.
The bank manager came over and he said, "Before we proceed," he said, "Are you being harassed?" And I'm like, "No, I'm not being pressured," because I didn't think I was. I didn't know I was being scammed.
She says she even signed a document saying she was taking this money out on her own free will. After getting the money, she continued to follow the caller's instructions, drove home. This letter, she says, printed from her printer, thanking her for returning the funds to PayPal, and a Mr. Jack has been assigned to collect the cash. Not long after her doorbell camera catches this man coming to her door to pick up the cash.
Yo.
She handed over the cash, thinking the ordeal is over, and called her daughters to tell them about her long day.
Before I could hardly get this story out of my mouth, I'm like, "Mom, you've been scammed."
At first, she thought she was the only victim until she saw this man's mugshot, Lingwei Zhang. She says it's the same guy that came to her door and she handed over her $17,500. Zhang is charged with obtaining property under false pretenses in her case, and he, along with another suspect, are also facing charges in person.
Come on now. We gotta back it up to look at both of them. Let's go. Hold on, where are they at? Come on, man. Got two scammers taken from old women, multiple old women, probably. Absolutely crazy.
Are also facing charges in Person, Durham, and Granville counties of obtaining property under false pretenses, assessing computers, and felony conspiracy.
Oh yeah, they
According to the Person County
scam
Sheriff,
scam.
whose department was the first to make the arrest, the two suspects are living in this country without
North
legal
Carolina?
permission. The sheriff says they're currently working with the North Carolina SBI and the Department of Homeland Security to identify more victims and suspects. And while the total amount of money scammed is unknown at this time, he says it's close to $400,000.
It never occurred to me that there was going to be an evil person come into my life.
The financial loss is
Oh
devastating
well.
as a large chunk of the money gone is money she says is from an insurance policy to pay her medical bills when she fought cancer last year.
What I want people to know is just because you're tired that day, don't let your defenses down.
So heartbreaking
4
that she
hours?
fell
Nah, that's
for
not.
this scam. Now, the suspects are still behind bars at the Person County Detention Center.
Did she
And
get her money
investigators
back?
say the Department of Homeland Security has detainers in place. When it comes to the victim's bank, Bank of America, a representative told me they're investigating the case and can't comment until their investigation is complete. I'm troubleshooter Diane Wilson, ABC 11 Eyewitness News.
At the end of the day, y'all, we have to watch out for our older folks. We got to explain to them how, like, what to look out for a scam. My mom almost got scammed. My mom almost got scammed. They did that whole you owe tax, you owe a toll violation or something like that to her phone. My mama ain't call nobody. She ain't do nothing. She went to the DMV or went up to the place and was asked them directly, "Do I owe anything?" They said no. My mama told me about it. So my mom, did you send them any? That's the first thing. Did you send them anything? Did you click on any links? She said no. So hey, whew, they love to try to scam the older folks who don't understand technology and who have their defenses down. But that's bold. That's very bold for them to. They hacked into the computer first of all to print out letters and everything like that. They said, "All right, I'm gonna send you something," and it prints it out. It prints it out right there, or faxes over to them, something like that. Prints it out 2 different letters, saying thanking them for it, and then telling them that it's something serious. Then they tell you to stay on the line for 4 hours while she drives to the local bank. Gets out $17,500. They said, nah, you can keep that $500 for your troubles. It's her money. It's her money. And then he pulls up to her house. He pulls up to her house and she hands him $17,500. You got to be careful. We have to explain to the older generation that they cannot be trusting these people on their phone. You know how many people hit my phone up talking about some crazy stuff? You know what I do? Close my phone. Close the message. Don't even respond. Block it, matter of fact. Absolutely crazy. We got to watch out for our older people, man. Because you don't know how many people they did this to. They said they got over $400,000. That's what they're thinking, around 400,000. You hear about it all the time about grannies getting scammed. Her daughters immediately, before she even finished the story, knew she got scammed. But she didn't think about it. And then she went, that's crazy. Even the bank people asked, "Are you being harassed to get this money?" "No, I'm not being harassed." I guess she technically wasn't being, well, no, she was being harassed. She just didn't feel like she was being harassed. That's a crazy situation, y'all. That's a crazy situation. Now let me know, has any of your parents ever been scammed like that? Not, well, you don't have to be up to that magnitude, but have they been scammed or been close to getting scammed before? Have you been scammed before for any reason like that? People hitting up your phone telling you owe some money. If I owe some money, I'm gonna need a letter, and I'm gonna have to check the number, check the address, look up scams before I send anything. Before I send anything, I'm checking to make sure. For I'm 100% facts know that this is not a scam. And then I'm definitely not downloading stuff onto my computer. No, download. No, absolutely not. Absolutely crazy. But that's something we have to look at. We have to be sure to take care of our own. Just look out for yourselves, y'all, because there are scammers in this world who will take, what did I say? They will take your last leg. You are already standing on your last leg, and they're going to take it from you. Because they don't care who they hurt. They don't care what they do. They just going to take it. And hey, when you ask them, then they're going to laugh at you when you ask it for it back. Absolutely diabolical. Absolutely diabolical. All right, everybody, remember this is AC Reviews the Word. Remember to like and subscribe.